Let's talk about the OPEC report, because the amount that Nigeria has spent on the importation of petroleum products into the country last year was $43.46 billion higher than the revenue the country earned from the export of petroleum products in the same year. In its 2021 report on the latest values of petroleum exports and imports of member nations of OPEC, the report says that the country is spending well above, Nigeria lost about 17 billion naira to unretired advances granted to staff. Also 26 billion naira was lost due to abandonment of contracts. Our business analyst, Chikambonu, joins me now for more on these stories. Let's talk about a few of these stories. Let's start from the e-Naira. They will talk about the petroleum products. Then, of course, the report by the Paradigm Leadership report on how much government lost in terms of taxes. Let's start from the
e-Naira.
The e-Naira. Okay, e-Naira, but let me talk about money loss, because everybody's ears are up this morning about what we're losing on our own side here. What do you make of this report about how much we lost? About $500 billion between 2013 and 2017.
You know, we have said it several times in the program that for a country that is borrowing left and right, the amount of leakage in the system is enormous, it's so much. We've also said this several times in this program that if indeed we can plug some of these leakages, we don't need to borrow. We also said this several times in this program that there's nothing wrong to borrow. You know, as far as you put it into productive use, you know, capital investment. But what is happening in our country is that, look at the wastage. The money that we are borrowing, we're using it to fund wastage. The figures are just, you know, look at about 9 billion naira for goods, paid for goods, not supplied. 9 billion naira. You know, 17 billion naira on unretired advances by staff.
By civil servants.
By civil servants.
And public officials.
And public officials, 17 billion naira. And so you can imagine that maybe the minister, the DG, everybody's involved in this scam.
Yeah, well.
So nobody's checking anybody. You know, and you worry about that. Abandonment of contracts, about 26 billion naira. Uncollected taxes, non-remittance of taxes, you know, and...
So the national purse is just full of holes.
Full of holes, and we are borrowing left and right. You know, the leakage
and we look like we're pouring
now,
it into the same...
Into the same empty basket. Look at the report that they submitted to the president about NDDC. You know, 6 trillion since inception. More than 30,000 projects abandoned.
That's enough. That's enough to sink another country.
Another country. You know, now you mentioned this, my person. You know, some people just say they're actually surprised that Nigeria is still standing. You know, that with the amount of leakages, with the amount of waste.
A former head of state said, wonders why the economy has not collapsed.
Wastages. Look at the remember Port Harcourt refinery. For almost how many 7 years, 8 years, no single fuel has been produced. Yet they're hiring new staff, paying massive salaries to people. Directors are collecting fees, all on borrowed money. You know, 98% of our revenues are being used to service debt, and nobody, it means nothing to people. You know, so the wastage is so much.
How do we cut these losses? How do we plug the holes? Or we need to get another completely new basket? Because we can't keep...
You see, if you have dealt with these ministries and MDs, you'll find that properly structured. Because they have proper audit departments. They have procedures.
By name?
Yes. They have procedures, policies and procedures on how monies can go out. But the issue is that any money that, you know, they tell you sometimes that, you know, if you want to chase corruption, it's not really the politicians. You should actually go to the civil service and go and check there.
Interesting about the... let's talk about the oil. OPEC says Nigeria's imports exceeded exports into... You think it's another leakage point, mismanagement point?
You know, we had the former emir of Kano here, and he talked about subsidy. And he actually said that, you know, it's a major scam for our country. Look at 44 billion naira and dollars. Excess.
Do you think the Dangote refinery is a game changer?
You know, we're hoping, but this is happening because none of our refineries are working. So we earn $5 from selling crude oil, and then we spend $10 to bring in petroleum products. That's what's happening. Now, do you know what? This report says that it has been like this for the last 5 years. That is, what we get from crude oil sales is less than what we spend. Cost of
finished products.
Of finished products we bring.
Okay, are you ready for e-Naira now? The court says the central bank can go ahead.
Of course, we're happy that for our viewers. The e-Naira is the digital Naira, digital representation of the Naira.
Okay. I wanted to give you some cash here, but you said it's e-Naira you wanted. I'll just have to let you wait until you get your e-Naira. I'm going to keep this for now. We can talk about that later. Thank you so much, Chikambono, Rice Business Analyst. This early Monday morning. You're watching the Global Business Report here on Arise News.